everybody. Well, this is supposed to be Yarn Fest weekend, and I should be in Colorado visiting with all my friends from Colorado and around and talking about yarn and fiber and all the exciting things. But I'm home, just like most of you are, and it's not the most fun thing ever. So I have decided just to have a little bit of fun and to reach out to you, my friends. We decided to set up our booth here in the studio. So you get a kind of peek down here where we've set up everything, and I'm going to give you a little tour. This is something that's kind of new to me, so you'll have to just bear with me as I practice and do this. But the idea is I'm going to give you a virtual tour of the studio or of my booth setup, and then tomorrow you can make appointments and I can FaceTime with you personally, one-on-one, if you want to see something, if you need yarns matched up, you want to put together a special project, or just need some advice on something you're working on. Feel free to go to Facebook to our page and sign up for an appointment, and I will be happy to work with you there. So anyway, here is our booth. We're still working on it, but we're going to give you a little bit of a tour. So the first thing I want to show you is a shawl that we're making. This is what we call our fine fluff yarn, which is that lovely mohair and silk blend. And here's a shawl that we put kits together for. And don't ask me for names today because I'm tired. We have spent the whole day setting up, but I'll have names for you if you have appointments or just want to call or text me and say, what is the name of that shawl? But I will remember it. But isn't that lovely? And this is made with a mohair silk blend, and we call it our fine fluff yarn, and we do have kits for this. We'll put that back on our lady. Here's another shawl that many of you may have seen in our booth, and this one is made with just one skein of our Cashmere Delight yarn. This is the Helia shawl by Carroll, and it's one of our favorites. Right over here, I'm really excited to show you our El Panal cowl, and it's a good thing I know that because I designed it, so I should need to remember the name. El Panal means honeycomb, so we have the honeycomb design. This takes just one of our little mini 5-packs. We have a couple other colors down here, so we'll show you a little bit more of that in a moment. But it's a really easy knit because it is a mosaic stitch, and you never carry more than one color per row, even though it looks very complicated. All right, quickly around the corner here, I just want to show you our little kits of mini skeins. Everyone loves mini skeins. They are so much fun. So many projects you can do, but people say, what can I do with mini skeins? Well, we have a lot of ideas that we will be showing you in the future here, but just as a sampling of some of the mini skeins that we have. And the cowl that we just talked about used just one 5-pack. In fact, that cowl was made out of sandpiper right here. Those colors, really fun colors. Over here, we have a shawl. So 2020, I decided was going to be the year of crochet. I know that's really close to the word COVID. We'll start with C at least. So I was not expecting that, but I have been stretching myself and doing a lot more crochet. I haven't crocheted probably in 30 years. But this is also made with our mini skeins, and it's a free pattern. We can talk about that one later, but this took two boxes of our little mini skeins, and here they are. And this is dyed in tonals, so you have all different shades of the colors. It gives a lot of fun depth to your project. So 2 boxes of that. That's in our Earthen Hues colorway. So as we go along here, those of you who are spinners recognize our bundles. This is where we take one of our colorways and we dye each color separately and put them in a nice box all together. The bundles are great for gradient spinning, and one of these days I will show my little demonstration on how to make a beautiful gradient yarn using just one of these bundles. But if you want to do any type of Fair Isle knitting or projects where you want to keep your colors separate or very unique coloring, deliberate color. These are really fun to use. All right, over here is our DK yarn. People are always asking, do you carry DK? Yes, we do. So this is our Yakety Yak DK, and it is a merino yak and silk blend. It is so soft and so wonderful. Over here we've made our Nightshift shawls using the DK Yakety Yak. We have kits for these three. This is our parade colorway. This one is called Weekend. And this one over here is Dungaree, which is in lots of denim colors. Probably our most popular one. The kits that we do, we wind off the amount of yarn that you need so you're not buying too much extra. And we put them here in a really nice package where the pattern comes with all the yarns are there that you need, and each yarn is individually labeled for the kit. Really easy to do. You'll love how this feels. All right, over here we have another DK yarn, and I don't know if you can see the glow on it, but this is called our Silky sheep yarn, and it is 50% merino and 50% silk. It's just gorgeous. One of the things that we've been doing with the Silky sheep is this cute little pinion pine beanie. We made kits up of those. Some of them have the DK Yakety Yak, and then some of them have the Silky sheep in them, and we have lots of different colors for you to choose from. These aren't on the website yet, so if you're interested in these, send me a message or sign up for a slot tomorrow. We'll talk and I'll show you all the colors that we have. But this comes with the pattern inside, a skein of yarn in the color you like, and a fun little faux fur pom-pom, so you can see how cute that is. All right, over here is probably one of our workhouse yarns, and this one we call Sublime. It's our merino cashmere nylon blend. It's so soft and so squishy that I love to make just about everything out of it. Right here is a shawl that was designed using our yarn by Carroll. This is called the Arcade Shawl. It's a wonderful, big, squishy shawl with a very fun window pane design in it. And this is made using our Sublime yarn. And again, we have kits made up for this too. Another item that we made from the Sublime yarn are sweaters. So Sublime is a fingering weight yarn, but it's on the heavier side of fingering. And oftentimes I like to use a size 4 to 6 needle on it and use it as a sport weight yarn. And that's what I did here. So here's the Navali sweater. Really fun. We put kits together for this one too. Now, if green isn't your thing, we can switch out colors. We're really happy to do that. But I thought this was just a really fun sweater. I like to wear it in the fall as seasons are changing. Just a nice little short sleeve sweater to tide you over. Another sweater that we made out of Sublime is this one here. And we did a fade with this. And we have written that up on our Ravelry project on how we did that fade. But we also have kits for this one here. One other thing I want to mention about our yarns is that we dye different ways. So as you can see, the top here, we have a lot of our variegated yarns. These are dyed in a very special way with lots of different colors, and we dye very randomly. So we want to avoid pooling or striping as much as possible. So what you see in the skein is very much the way that yarn will knit up. We also have some really fun speckled yarns. Those are really fun to coordinate, add 2 or 3 different colors and make a type of fade. Another way that we enjoy dyeing is right over here, you can see on the blue, is our tonals. we carry a full range of colors in the tonals, and we do a 3-step dye process with just one color of dye. So you get all different shades of that color in your yarn. We have a few more down here you can see in some of the golds and purples. Really pretty. And then, of course, last of all, we have our semi-solids. Now, we call them semi-solids. That's our hand dye way of trying to get a solid. But of course, the wonderful thing about hand dye is it's not perfect. And so you get just slight variations of color. This is as close to solid as you'll get, but still when you knit with it, you'll have those wonderful slight variations of color that makes it so fun to have that project. All right, right around the corner here is probably the yarn we are most famous for. As you can see, we've got holes in the rack because we just can't seem to keep it in stock. This is our Yakety Yak yarn fingering weight. It is a wonderful yarn. It has a firm twist and yet it's very soft. It is just a delight to knit with. And again, we have it in variegateds, we have it in tonals, and then the semi-solids down below. Here's a couple of projects that we've knit with those. This is a simple one skein project, and this is our Hodgepodge Scarf. You just knit till you run out of yarn. One skein, it's an easy take along project. So that's fun, and it just takes one skein of our Yakety Yak fingering. Over here is another project that we've made with our Yakety Yak fingering weight. And again, we did a fade with the tonal yarn, so you can see how pretty that is when you do a fade with it. And the tonals have all those different flecks of color. It's a cute tunic, really easy to wear. It looks good on just about any body. And then what I'm wearing too is made with our Yakety Yak yarn, and this is a tonal, and this is the Hittafooty sweater. I think there's been thousands of these made. It's so fun and easy to wear, and it's a great project to knit up, something you can just layer. All right, Yakety Yak, gotta love it. Over here, we have our dust yarns. We call them dust yarns because they sparkle, and we call one of them Stardust and another we call Gold Dust. So if you can guess, Stardust is a silver sparkle and Gold Dust is gold sparkle. And we pretty much use the gold sparkle when we have warm colors and warm tones, and we put the silver sparkle on the ones that have more blues and cool colors. This is a fun yarn. A lot of people like to make shawls with it because the yarn sparkles almost like little beads, but it's very soft, so gotta enjoy that. Over here is another workhorse yarn, and this one is called Simply Sock. It is, let me see if I can remember it. Yes, 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon. It's a 4-ply. It's very thin, but it is strong and soft still. Well, relatively soft, but this is a fantastic sock yarn. It has 463 yards, so there's enough there to make an average size pair of socks just with one skein. One of the fun things we have with this yarn is we've dyed some of them in what we call a chroma dye. And this is really a space dyed yarn. And when you knit socks with this, depending on your gauge and the size needle you have, you might get that candy cane swirl striping, or you might get a whole bunch of pooling. This is one of those yarns where your mileage may vary, but people love it. And another thing we use this space dyed yarn for is for weaving. I don't know if I have any weavers out there. I like to weave. And if you put this as a warp and you run your yarn in a certain way, you will get a variegated warp. Really pretty. And we'll talk more to weavers another day, but this is just a fun yarn to use. Again, we've got the variegateds, the speckles, the tonals, and the semi-solids. Real good line of colors in that. Okay, right behind me here is the Love Note sweater. And I know a lot of you have knit this or have been wanting to knit this. And this is a great project, knits up quickly. And this also uses our fine fluff yarn, which is that mohair silk blend. And we held this together with one strand of Cashmere Delight, which is probably the most soft yarn you'll ever touch. It's a cashmere, baby alpaca, and silk blend. So we held one strand of fine fluff with one strand of Cashmere Delight. And we put kits together for this sweater. And we are very size inclusive. I love this pattern that it's very size inclusive. So this is also, we did it in a light pink and a light blue. But if you want to do it in dark colors, we can accommodate. We'd love to put a kit together for you. Right behind me here is one of our brand new things, and this is a spinner's kit. This again is the Nightshift sweater, which is just fantastic. Really fun knit. If you haven't knit one or two or three, you really need to knit this shawl. It's so much fun and so easy to knit, and yet looks so complicated. Again, it is a slip stitch pattern, so you're only using one strand of yarn per row and just slipping the other color, and look how pretty that is. So when I talk about a spinner's kit, what I mean is that we put together a kit with roving. And so there is 6 ounces of our Emily colorway, and this is in our Merino Camel Silk blend, and then 6 ounces of the Sandpiper colorway. And there is instructions on how to spin it so that you get these different kinds of colors, and then you spin your yarn and make your own shawl. And look how fantastic those colors are together. So this is something fun. We're excited about doing spinner's kits. So back to crochet. This is the first thing I crocheted in 2020. And isn't that a fun shawl? This is the Lost in Time shawl. And again, this is made with our DK Yakety Yak yarn. And this has just a whole bunch of colors. So much fun to make. Here's the kit. You can see it comes with the pattern and then all the different colors in the bag there to make the shawl. So crocheters, we haven't forgotten you. I'm learning to be a crocheter. I think it's awesome. So there's another kit that we've put together. If you like one of these but don't particularly care for the colors, just let me know. We're happy to switch out for different colors, any of our kits, and would love to work with you on that. Okay, spinners, you're probably wondering, this is great, lots of fun yarn, but I know she has fiber hiding here somewhere. So I'm going to take you back here to our, what we call the wool room. And this is where we store all our braids of wool before we dye them, before we ship them. So after we dye our wool, we hang them up in here. These are all ready to go to your homes, and we hang them up by kind. So let's go over here, and I'll just kind of explain to you the different kinds of fibers we have for those of you who aren't aware. This is our newest fiber, and this is a Merino Cashmere Silk blend. Okay, I have a friend, and I sent him some of this, and he thought he liked the Merino Camel blends, and then he tried this, and he says, I think I have a new favorite. This is so soft and spins beautifully. So if you haven't tried our Merino Cashmere Silk blend, you do need to give this a try. We also have, here is our Merino Camel Silk blend here. We have a Merino Yak Silk blend. And on the back row here is a 50% camel, 50% silk blend. We're kind of known for our luxury fibers, So it's fun to do those in all our different colors. Over here we have our yak and silk blend. We have a merino tencel blend, 50% merino, 50% tencel. This has beautiful shine and drape. This is a 50% merino, 50% silk. We have a merino bamboo silk blend here. And then for those of you who like to spin for socks, this is our sock blend. And it is a superwash BFL and nylon blend so that you can actually knit your socks and put them in the washing machine. And normally I don't recommend that, or I don't do it, but one day one of my socks got in the washing machine and I thought, oh no, oh dear. And you know what? It was fine. It came out great. So it really does work. Field testing, gotta love it. Back here we have Falkland wool, 100% wool. We have some more merino camel silk because we just have lots. Here is one of our favorites. This is our heathered BFL. It's a black and white wool before it's dyed. So you get lots of fun color variations. Oh, and this is one of our colorways we haven't dyed in a long time. This is called Gentle Breeze. Some of you may have seen our Instagram or Facebook postings this week. That's a colorway that we've been doing. We got BFL, and then just right around the corner here, we have 100% Polworth wool, merino wool. Up on top is Targhee, and then this one's really fun. This is Polworth, black bamboo, and silk. And another one of my friends just got a braid of this, and she's been posting all about how much fun this is to spin, and it really is. So if you want something a little different, you might want to try that. Well, that's the tour. We will be talking more specifically about things in the future, but we wanted to just kind of show you that we've got shops set up here. For those of you who are missing Yarn Fest or have never been to Yarn Fest before, just sign up for an appointment. I'll be happy to take you personally through, choose those items, or you can always go on to our website, which is greenwoodfiberworks.com, and we're always happy to help you and choose your things and make sure you're successful with your projects. Thanks, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.